I want to bring in Shadow Attorney-General, former Speaker of the House of Reps, in fact, Andrew Wallace. Andrew, thanks for your time. When we look to the economic situation, does that sort of give you a little glimmer of hope in a political sense to say, look, I mean, obviously you don't want to see households hurting and the interest rate going up, but if you can unite behind that issue, which was the fundamental strength of the Howard government, isn't that what the coalition needs to do? To agree on what the shared worldview, as opposed to finding bits you disagree with?
Well, Kieran, we know that Australians are absolutely hurting at the moment, and just for mortgage holders, their costs have gone up by around $21,000 a year for an average mortgage. That's before tax, compared to what they were paying under us. If they're renting, rent's gone up by 40% in recent years. The cost of living has just gone through the roof for everybody, and they are really, really feeling the pain. And I know that Australians are becoming very angry about that. I hear it in my electorate. Every shop I walk into, every office I walk into and talk to, they're all telling me the same thing about they're sick to death of being squeezed by the cost of living.
And are they blaming the government for that?
Absolutely they are. And I'm not suggesting for a second that they're not unhappy with the coalition. I know that the people feel that as a result of what's going on with this, the split in the coalition, they're unhappy because Australians fundamentally understand that to have a good government, you need a good, effective opposition. And the best way that we can do that, in my view and many of my colleagues' view, is to reunite the coalition. Together we're better, together we're stronger.
Do you think it was a case the Nats got spooked and are spooked by One Nation? Is that underpinning some of this volatility?
Oh, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm not in the party room, the Nationals party room. I don't know what the conversations they have. I suspect that could have something to do with it. But, at the end of the day, Australians want to see sensible, middle-of-the-road government. And I can understand why some people may be seeing some attraction to Pauline Hanson at the moment, but at the end of the day, ask anybody what her policies are and you'll come up with Trump's.
Is Susan Lee...
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, indeed. Is Susan Lee safe now?
Look, Susan Lee...
Once you get through this week?
Susan Lee has the support of the party room. I do not believe that there is an active move against her. I know there's lots of talk in the media, but I'm just not seeing that on the ground amongst my colleagues.
Alex Hawke was adamant when I spoke to him yesterday that she's got the numbers, that it's clear.
I believe Susan has the numbers.
Yeah. So you just crack on.
We crack
on.
on.
Get through this period of instability and then you try and rebuild. Is that your view?
We need to get the coalition back on track, be that formidable opposition, hold the government to account, because there is a lot to hold the government to account on. They have been absolutely profligate in the way that they are spending taxpayers' money. We're seeing unprecedented sums of money from our GDP being spent on government programs.
We're told it's going to be a reform budget, though, coming up in May. So this could be the moment that the government takes steps to pay for that and rein in some of the spending that you're talking about.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Jim Chalmers has, despite his best attempts, has not proven to be an effective treasurer. What we are seeing now, today, is very likely another interest rate rise. That will be the 13th interest rate rise under this government. Anthony Albanese stood up last year and said, that's it. The interest rate rises are over. We're all happy days now. And only a few short months later, we saw a 77% potential for interest rate rises at 2:30 this afternoon.
Can I ask you about the points put to the National Party, this offer from Susan Lee, shadow cabinet solidarity reaffirmed by both parties, that the three senators are unable to rejoin the shadow cabinet for a period of 6 months, that an agreement that neither party room has the ability to overturn a decision endorsed by shadow cabinet. I had Trudy McIntosh reported that some Liberals are worried about that third element, that the party room cannot overturn shadow cabinet decisions.
That's an individual party room. The can't overturn shadow cabinet decisions. Of course, the joint party room together, when we're in a coalition, that's the ultimate and final arbiter of what our policies are or whether we agree to a certain bill or not. So that was a point that was well worth
and
made.
that was explained to the Liberals who raised that concern.
Well, look, I mean, I shouldn't be going into any great detail about what goes in a party room meeting, but ultimately what I can say to you is that the joint party room is the ultimate determiner of policies and bills.
With the and the other offer from Susan Lee, do you think the Nats will sign up, agree to that?
Who knows? I understand that the discussions last night were very productive, that they were cordial. I don't think anybody expected an outcome last night. This will probably take a little bit of time to get the band back together, but people should be under no illusions that there is a very good, strong, determined will to ensure that happens, because we can't hold this government to account without doing that effectively.
Andrew Wallace, Shadow Attorney-General, thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks, Kieran.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.